Libra, welcome. It is Sachi, and we are here to do your bonus reading. It is a See What Pops Up bonus reading where we just see what pops up. First, I would like to thank you guys so much. You guys tied for first place with Scorpio, so I hope that you enjoyed the free extended of the reading that came out in January, and I also hope that you enjoy this reading, which the extended is also for free, and the link is in the description box below. So again, thank you guys so much for all of your support and consistent engagement. I really appreciate it so much. I would also like to remind you that my Tarot 101 class and my Astrology 101 and 201 courses are available in my shop if you are interested in upping your life by learning about either of these extremely amazing esoteric tools. And I would also like to announce that my books are finally open again. So if you are interested in working with me, I am accepting new clients at this time after having my books closed for about half a year. I can't believe it was that long, really. Time flies just so much. And so my books are open for all of my services. So astrology, readings like this, as well as one-on-one spiritual mentorship. So, and I also have a couple specials there as well. So if you're interested in that, you can go on SachiTheScorpio.com. All that info is in the description box below. All right, let's get started. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony, Libra. We had High Priestess in reverse, 9 of Chalices, Knave of Wands, 5 of Chalices, and the Hierophant. So with the High Priestess in reverse, it is telling me that you've been a little bit disconnected from your higher self in some sort of way. Maybe you're having difficulty listening to your intuition or trusting yourself is what I was really feeling here. With the 9 of Chalices, this is the card of celebrating a solar return. So, you know, Libra season wasn't too far off. And with the 9 of Chalices, it feels like there is like a celebration here. But it kind of feels like there was some sort of like disconnect around your higher self, perhaps around your birthday. That maybe, you know, you stopped trusting yourself as much, or you weren't trusting your intuition or listening, you know, to what your higher self was telling you to do. And when I was tapping into the 9 of Chalices, it kind of felt like you were really judging yourself about what you're supposed to have accomplished at the age that you're at. It was kind of like looking back with, like remorse almost. And again, that's where that disconnect comes from, because your higher self knows, number one, time really isn't even a thing, right? Only in this dimension do we experience time like this, which we don't necessarily have to. That's a whole nother story, Libra. But again, there's some like self-imposed age limit things basically that you've put on yourself, and it feels like that you've been kind of a bit sad because of it. With the Knave of Wands and 5 of Chalices, that's where it kind of comes from, because Knave of Wands is, in this deck, it's the card of being afraid of your own power, basically. She's just starting to understand how to utilize her Kundalini and her firepower, but she looks a little hesitant and scared. So that might be where you are now, is recognizing your full power and your ability to, you know, use your firepower, your energy, your choices to manifest your reality. And again, with the 5 of Chalices, it seems like there is some sadness or depression of things from the past, right? It's kind of like, you know, it's like you're afraid of your power moving forward because you know how much power you have, but you're kind of, I want to say paralyzed by fear, but I don't feel like you're paralyzed by it. But it's like kind of stricken with grief of how you've handled the years up until now, until you had this sort of awareness of your power. The 5 of Chalices in this deck is also my card of like drinking 5 glasses of wine and crying on the couch. So, and here they are drinking wine. So there could be something having to do with substances here as well. And with the Hierophant here, the Hierophant is the card of going to someone who is a professional and getting some sort of professional advice. It's funny, Scorpio also had this card come out. So it could be that you are finally seeking some professional help, or, you know, going to someone who has a little bit more knowledge about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because the Hierophant here, right, she has a paper. Maybe this is a business plan. Maybe this is a spell. Maybe this is an herbal tincture that she's making, and she's going to someone who knows about it and is saying, hey, you know, here's this, you know, help me through it, right? And in this deck, it's a woman who runs an apothecary. So, she would have the list of ingredients. She would, the professional would give the list of ingredients and also kind of walk them through the process of whatever they are doing. And so I think that's an important part of what's going on here, is getting some sort of professional help here. With Drapion using slicing blade. So this is a dark type and it is scorpionic energy. So again, scorpionic energy, especially when it's the scorpion, can represent like the way that we self-sabotage or poison ourselves, right, with substances or, other things, any sort of self-sabotage, the way we poison ourselves and the way we poison others. And again, I was kind of picking that up in the 9 of Chalices and the 5 of Chalices. Right here feels kind of like self-sabotage, and these two together feel like, poisoning one's body, maybe with substances, maybe with unhealthy foods or whatever it may be. With Drapion using slicing blade, it is like, right, slicing blade is like things that are very, like cutting, right? It's like cutting dark energy. So I definitely am feeling that there was some sort of dark energy that got into your sphere. And with Meowth using act tough in reverse, you're not trying to act tough. You're not trying to act like you have it all figured out, or have like this hard shell on it. You are letting yourself be vulnerable right now. And that's what I'm feeling with the 5 of Chalices and the Hierophant. You are allowing yourself to say, hey, I want to step in my full power, but there's some sort of fear about this. And, I am a little bit sad about things that have happened in the past, or depressed or whatever. And again, that's where that professional help comes in. We do have Watchog using held item inspection, and I would just be wary of this because Watchog I always take as like the police state Pokemon, or being observed or watched or whatever, and held item inspection I always take as your phone. So I would be very careful about any sort of textual transmissions and things like that, or being watched in any sort of way for what you are saying or doing. Just always remember, especially on certain platforms, that yes, you indeed are being observed. Nothing can be truly deleted. And just be mindful, right? Be mindful. Of course, we always want to speak truth and things like this, but remember, sometimes it's like if you're going to speak truth, that's going to get you deplatformed or something like that. Like, okay, well, now you can't even have a platform to speak that truth, right? And so, not that I'm saying you're going to be deplatformed or anything like that, but just be mindful. Remember, there are eyes. All right, anyway. And it's just Watchog, so just watch it, right? Just be mindful. Alrighty. So, Libra, let's just see. Like I mentioned, this is a see what pops up reading, so we're just going to see what pops up. Yeah, High Priestess in reverse again. It's interesting. A deck just slid forward, which is the blending of science and spirit. So maybe we'll, let's see. Does one want to come out here? Okay. So yeah, High Priestess in reverse. So again, it's like talking about not trusting one's intuition or disconnecting from the higher self. Some sort of like incorrect, psychic connection even. And we have Gabriel in reverse and Zadkiel. Yeah. So Gabriel coming out in reverse is indicating, again, messages. So there can be some messages coming in from not your higher self. It may be your lower self or something like that. With Gabriel coming out in reverse, it's saying like messages that are not from the divine. And with Zadkiel here, Zadkiel is the archangel that is the archangel of death, actually. So, it talks about sort of, like dead spirits almost. So you might be getting contacted by people from the other side or something, or some sort of like darker entity, I would say. Definitely not, higher vibrational energy. Let's see what's here. Knight of Chalices. Okay. So Knight of Chalices is a come and go type energy. And so, right, knights, they come and go. Knight of Chalices in this deck specifically points to like energy that's just too dreamy, right? It's like here he is, he's in love with someone, but all he does is sit there and daydream about her and, write poems and things like that, and not actually take physical action in order to anchor like the relationship here, if that makes sense. Because he's just sort of trotting around, and doing whatever, you know, kind of la-di-da. So it's kind of giving me energy of a little bit too much in the headspace, not enough action being taken. And again, the disconnection from the higher self can be that you're sort of getting, you know, messages from lower vibrational entities or even the dead, right? I mean, we are in the dark period. So this can be, you know, ancestors that are not angelic. This can be just, you know, spirits that are wandering around that are giving you advice and things like that, that are sort of against your better nature, or your highest self, I should say. Let's see what's the light energy here. Okay. We have dark energy in reverse and Metapod using stiffen. So with dark energy in reverse, I feel like you are actively, you know, rejecting this dark energy that's coming towards you. But again, there is still this disconnection from the higher self here. And with Metapod using stiffen, this can be causing your heart chakra to stiffen. Because again, there is this, you know, energy of the masculine energy being a little bit too la-di-da-di-da, right? Too in the head. It's like, you know, instead of daydreaming about his love or whatever, he should be building a house kind of thing. So again, it feels like a lot that's being done just mentally. And it's causing the heart chakra again to stiffen because there's no security in some sort of way. It says, even though it's encased in a sturdy shell, the body inside is tender. It can't withstand a harsh attack. So this is talking about the heart having a very hard exterior, which again is a very scorpionic type energy. And being very, very tender inside. So again, it's like in order to protect the heart chakra, you might be just sort of la-di-da dying in the daydream, right? And masculine energy is just how you are using your, you know, your physical force, things that you're doing in 3D reality, versus feminine energy is the unseen aspect and spiritual aspect. So we see that the feminine is basically disconnected from the higher self, from the spiritual self, because your own masculine energy is sort of in its feminine energy, is in this sort of la-di-da daydreaming all day instead of taking action. And therefore it causes the heart to feel like it has to protect itself. Your heart has sort of this masculine core. So it's talking about how it can't take a harsh attack. So I definitely feel like, you know, part of it is that your heart needs to rest, and the heart can't take a harsh attack, meaning like, you know, needing to be very gentle on your heart, you know, emotionally and physically. Let's see, what's the shadow here? We have mystery energy and revive coming out stuck. So very interesting. So trainer here indicates somebody else's energy, and with revive to the Knight of Chalices. So there may be even a Knight of Chalices in your life that is trying to revive something with you. And I feel like it could have to do with 3 people, because every time, right, it's like 3 stars. So I feel like someone is trying to revive something, or maybe like a dream, or whatever it may be, a relationship. Someone's trying to revive something, but they are a mystery. This is a special type of psychic energy called mystery energy, which means they remain shrouded in mystery. So this Knight of Chalices might be perhaps even coming towards you. But again, it's a mystery energy. So there is a lot of unknowns about what is being revived there. Ooh. All right, let's see. What's it go out next, Libra? Let's see what's going on here. Tell me more about this situation, please, angels. We have 6 of Pentacles in reverse and 5 of Wands. Okay, so all is not well necessarily. It seems like you finally have learned boundaries around certain things, especially finances and money and things like that. And it's causing some sort of blame game in some sort of way. Because the 6 of Pentacles in this deck, you know, here she is, right? It's like she was at the soup kitchen and she volunteered her time and maybe donated some stuff, right? It's like she's a giver. And as she's leaving, there's this homeless man who's like, hey, give me something. And her face is terrified because she has, whoa, did you hear that? Yeah, big tower moment. Yeah, it's like she has her purse open and the guy is like, you know, give me something. And she's like, I have nothing left to give, basically. And it's like, what is she going to give? The clothes off her back. And so, you know, there's this energy of learning when to say no and how to have boundaries and things like that, even perhaps with people who are less fortunate than us. So because it's coming out in reverse, it's telling me that you have learned to set those boundaries. You are not overgiving anymore. But there's also this Five of Wands, which again is sort of this blame game. As you can see, they're all sort of arguing around a computer. There's some dates circled. So there's this time sort of thing. So there could be some sort of time-based issue or arguments. This could be work-related. But again, there's some sort of discrepancy and trying to put blame on a certain person or whatever it may be. All right, let's see what's the light energy here. That's crazy, that tower moment. Yeah, there was like a stack of boxes and they all just fell over. So we have Mudbray using Stampede and Bunnery using Bounce. Yeah, so again, this is a fighting type. So Stampede is something that's like there's a lot all at once. And again, there's a lot of fighting energy that's happening here. It says loads weighing up to 50 times as much as its own body weight pose no issue for this Pokemon. It's skilled at making use of mud. So it's talking about, you know, being able to carry loads 50 times its weight, which is talking about, you know, carrying a heavy burden basically. But I feel like you're finally having these boundaries where you're not carrying these heavy burdens anymore. It's like, yeah, you can, but why would you want to continue to do that? And it's talking about being skilled at making use of mud. So I feel like basically because you used to be an overgiver, you have learned to be very resourceful and you have learned to basically make do with a lot of things that you know, like when you didn't have a lot. And now that you're learning how to put boundaries on things, you know, you'll be able to do even more. But with Bunnery using Bounce, it feels like you're bouncing out of a situation. And again, it could be because of some sort of blame game or time limit sort of thing here. It says its ears are always rolled up. They can be forcefully extended to shatter even large boulders. So it's talking about its ears always rolled up. Okay, so it's talking about someone who doesn't listen, right? And that often happens when there is this blame game. As you see, there's like this, you know, finger wagging, finger pointing, sort of problems here. And, you know, obviously that comes from when someone is unable to listen. And it's also, you know, they can be forcefully extended to shatter even large boulders, which is saying, you know, like things that might be big can be, you know, just by listening, these boulders can be sort of smashed and turned into pebbles, which then can, you know, be dealt with. So again, I feel like a lot of the problems here are solved with opening one's ears and really listening to what people are saying. All right, let's see what's the shadow here. Wow, that wanted to do quite a slap right to the Six of Pentacles and now to the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, we have Mighty Ina using Crunch. So I feel like there is some sort of time crunch here for some sort of reason. And again, it has to do with some sort of boundaries around physical stuff. And again, how it's disconnected from the higher self. Mighty Ina is also Dog Spirit, which represents some sort of loyalty. So there could be an aspect of loyalty here. It says it always obeys the commands of a skilled trainer. Its behavior arises from living in packs in ancient times. So again, it's talking about always obeying, you know, the skill of a trainer. And this is a dark type energy. So it's kind of like the shadow is always going to listen to what you are telling it, basically. And it's talking about, you know, pack animals and things like that, which is about rank. It's about loyalty. It's about, you know, sort of the pecking order, so to speak, and how to deal with people in a group setting, right? It can't always be chaos and confrontation and things like that. So we are going to head into the extended. Like I said, it is free. Thank you so much for all of your support. The link is in the description box below. But let's see what Mother Moon would like to say to bring us into the extended here. Hold your vision. So there obviously is some sort of vision in your third eye that you are meant to be, and I just saw clear cognizance. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of vision that you are trying to manifest, and you are being asked to hold it, even through discrepancies and blame games and things like that. We have prioritize. Archangel Metatron says, focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So again, this is about a vision that you are bringing in. And again, you can't just be stuck in the vision, right? You need to make sure that things are anchoring in and that you're meeting certain deadlines maybe that you have to meet or whatever, that you're not overgiving and things like that. So work with Archangel Metatron to focus on the highest priorities. What is literally the next step that needs to happen? And Archangel Metatron is going to help with the organization and motivational aspect of moving forward and getting past these problems, which seem to be based on people who don't want to listen. So we are going to head to the extended and see what else pops up. If you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below, and I hope to see you there.